Welcome, everybody, to episode 157 of the Uncovering Anomalies Podcast.
Yeah.
Joining me, as always, is I Have a Need to Know, Adam.
What's up, everyone? Episode 157.
157. And for everyone else, it's Topher.
Yes.
Like
Topher
it's over.
Back. Yes. Well, you know, when I was putting this show together, I was like, man, there is just way too much going on. I'm like, it's not normal. Like, I don't think humans are not set up to take all this information coming through from all angles, from all, like, it's not just the UFO UAP thing, which is a lot going on, right?
Yes.
But then you have the Epstein thing, then you have the war in Iran, and then you have the economy, and it's just it just feels like a friggin' mess.
You know, for me in my head, it's like a funny parallel. Like when you start looking into the JFK assassination, you'll be like, oh my God, everybody wanted to kill this guy. There was like death in every direction for him. And then when I look at now and I look at the, human public, I go, oh God, there's death in every direction. Because you're right. I mean, it's coming from all sides now.
Yeah, everywhere. And everyone is screaming at each other. Everyone is just, it's normal now for politicians to use F-bombs. I mean, when did that start? Because of Trump? I mean, it's like every other one now just says effing this, effing that. I mean, I'm like, whoa, man, what happened to Congress and senators? And they're just garbage.
Yeah, but I would prefer, them being honest with how much of, how shitty they are. They're all talking about how much they love to guck Israel. And it's like, well, now they're being honest about it, at least.
Yeah, there's some really
it's out in the open.
Congress. Yeah. I mean, all we have left really is Massey, and it's so funny. Trump, right? He did a rally to go against Massey, and like the people that showed up were not even from the district, and his prospects of getting voted in, I think it was like 50% or something like that when before Trump did the rally. After the rally, it was 65%, and now it's 73% of
40 chess.
Yeah, he's such a fucking mess. I don't want to get started.
Oh, I'm sure we'll get into it at some point today. Because
today, yes,
I was just gonna say for last week in a row, we are going to just we will be doing an update as to what's going on in the world at the moment.
We will, and we might not even get to that kind of stuff because there's a lot going on. Looks like from UFO UAP. So we'll be covering McCasland. All that stuff that's coming out with him and all of the investigations going on from like open source investigations, also what the mainstream media has said, what the UFO community is saying, as in like, whistleblowers, what they think is going on. Burleson as well. He was on Weaponized. So we'll go through that. Tim Burchett. And then you see those UFOs over in New York. I mean, I don't think that was really anything. The video that came out wasn't too mind blowing, actually. Could be anything.
I mean, it's nothing too crazy. Actually, the one I sent you, I thought was pretty mind blowing.
Oh yes, we do have that one. Yeah,
I can't remember where that was, but the ones over New York, it was just kind of like points of light, right? I mean,
yeah, they could have been drones. Like seriously,
or it could be orbs. It could be orbs too. I mean, but again, orbs. We're so saturated with UFOs now. It's like they're just orbs. Where it's like it used to be like, what the hell are those?
Right. It's funny how the Bledsoes now are trying to have like a monopoly over orbs. Like they're like, I can't believe all these people talk about orbs and don't mention us. I'm like, what? Like, how can you have a monopoly over the orbs in the sky?
Well, you know how it goes. I mean, if your claim to fame is like one thing, you have to make that one thing your whole personality, your whole image, right?
True.
And so when other people start talking about it, it takes away from you, and so you got to find a way to wrap it back around to yourself.
Right. It's like what David Icke does, because David Icke's been talking about this stuff on the fringes, and now it's mainstream. So he's like a bitter old man. I love him. Don't get me wrong. He woke me up. I really do adore him. But if you see him, he's like I've been talking about this for 10, 20 years. But it's like, dude, okay, yeah. Like, also, there's a lot of other of us that have been talking about things all the time, and we don't sit there when people wake up and say, "Hey, I've been talking about this. Why don't you guys look at me and look at my stuff?" It's just like, it's good they're waking up. I'm happy people. A lot of stuff is going. It might be too late. I think people are waking up a little too late. I mean, I don't want to black pill, but it's just the control looks almost ironclad. They're coming after Tucker. Did you see that?
Oh yeah. Yep, I sure did.
That is insane.
It's because he didn't fall in line.
No, he didn't fall in line. He's the number one critic of Israel, and I mean, they took out Charlie Kirk obviously for this because he was
That's
the
how
one
it works.
Iran war. Yeah, and they're
Yeah,
like,
actually, I just saw SNL had a sketch making fun of
fuckers.
Making fun of him, and I was like, well, I guess the script has come in. Anyone who goes against Israel is on the blacklist.
I couldn't watch it. I saw it on my feed. I just couldn't. I just don't want to watch them do that to him. It sucks. I mean, the guy is such he's a voice of reason. He's a true patriot. I mean, it's too bad.
I know, it's like, and it's so weird because they go, oh, he's a extreme right wing commentator, when like that's not even, if you listen to him, he's more moderate than the rest of the Republican Party right now.
Very, very, very. He has no hate in his heart or in his rhetoric. It's he thinks these things through. You can tell that he thinks these things through before saying anything.
Yeah, I saw on Reddit, so it was that video from SNL was posted, and someone goes, "God, Tucker Carlson is just the worst," and I commented, "Well, what makes him bad in your opinion?" Just to see the opinion, and I got banned.
What?
Yeah, I got banned from the subreddit where it was posted, and it's a major one too. Our videos,
just about our videos,
and that's
asking a question.
Yes, yeah. That was today, by the way. That just happened a couple hours ago.
Dude, fuck Reddit.
I know, man.
And then you have people like Mark Levin and just screaming all the time, spewing hate. Laura Loomer. It's
something else, man.
It really is. Yeah, it really is. And I don't think they want to push Americans too hard. Like, seriously. This is not like a normal. This is a country that's founded on revolution, and it's armed to the teeth. Mm-hmm. It's not a joke what they're doing. Like, they think, I don't know. I'm not going to say anything because you incite anything or say I'm not suggesting anything. I just know, I'm good at recognizing patterns. This is not a country you want to start acting like this.
No, you're absolutely correct. However, I do think they've done a very good job, and I suffer from this too. They've made people apathetic.
Yes, apathetic to the political process. But I think once you start taking out like people that tens of millions follow and love and adore, and you're going after people's rights, like constitutional rights, I don't know, at some point it's going to snap. People are patient, but I think to a limit.
I hope you're right. I really do. Unfortunately, over the last couple decades, I've seen more and more of the rights of American people get taken away, and everyone falls back and talks about how important the Second Amendment is. And I completely 100% agree, but it needs to see some use, not a call to violence. Sorry, went too far.
I mean, not a use, but what it was intended for. There's a reason for it. It's not for hunting.
It's for taking down and fighting against tyrannical governments.
Right. And you can see Tucker and Megyn Kelly and all these voices as a release valve. You release that release valve. Why would you? Like, people would listen to it like, oh, yeah, that's right. Exactly. Yes. He's saying you don't want to start taking those release valves unless you're doing it on purpose. Maybe they're doing it on purpose. They know what the repercussions are, because that's when people start getting angry when they can't express themselves, because when you express yourself, people and psychiatrists would tell you this as well. When you talk about things, it makes you feel better.
Right. That's why you're exactly right. And that's why, that ties into the mental health crisis that's going on in the United States right now, where people aren't allowed to grieve their grievances. They're not allowed to express their grievances, and they're not allowed to say what they really feel. They're not allowed to talk about certain governments around the world because, their free speech is being inhibited.
Yeah.
And it does. You're absolutely right. In psychology, they talk about that. If you keep burying everything, it's got to come out sometime.
Exactly. Yeah. And not in the way that, that's good.
Exactly. Right.
All right, cool. So let's get into our UFO news for the week.
Excellent.
Lots going on. There's a lot with this General Neil McCasland and his disappearance. Lots of views going around. People within the community, people that are within the intelligence community as well have said their opinions, and also the mainstream news is picking up on this, which they should have.
Yeah, I think I believe we first brought this up maybe a month ago, 3 weeks ago. I can't remember. And I
Yeah, when
remember
it first came out. Yeah.
at the time I made a huge gaffe. I said, well, he's old. Maybe he's got,
Dementia. Dementia, I think it was.
dementia or Alzheimer's or something. And that's not really the case. The week before he disappeared, he went on a 60-mile bike ride. So he's in shape. And
Right, exactly.
Didn't get lost. But this has been a very strange thing. There's stuff that either has come out recently or stuff that I didn't even know about, but he left his cell phone at his house.
His glasses as well. No, wait, he took his glasses, right? But left his cell phone, something like that.
Yeah, something like that. One of the latest weird parts of the news I saw is they said they might have found clothes near where he was last seen.
Yes, I think that was the latest.
But it was
undetermined. He took his gun with him.
Undetermined if they were his clothes was what the news at the time had said. I didn't hear anything about the gun, but I mean, this is a guy who has military experience. Obviously, I mean, he's a general.
Big time. Yeah.
And he has disappeared from a place without a phone. Means he was either, in my opinion, he was either taken or he's trying to disappear. Right? No one leaves without a phone unless you don't want to get tracked.
Yeah, and he worked at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, right, where the lore says the Roswell debris was shipped to.
Right, and he was part of Academy to the Stars.
Yep, exactly, to the Stars Academy. And when Tom DeLonge says, "I'm talking to the general," and when he used to do interviews, this is the general he was talking to. This is the general that was advising him of what's going on inside the government with this. But apparently McCasland didn't want to talk to anyone. Many of them were trying to reach out to him, and he just didn't want to do it, which was strange.
So this is a smart, well-spoken, well-knowledgeable, experienced veteran, not someone who just will willy-nilly, disappear for this period of time.
Exactly, and it's what's the coincidence that Trump now wants to release the UFO files, and one of the most knowledgeable people about this subject disappears.
And like we just said, with ties to it too.
Right. Exactly.
It doesn't seem like it doesn't feel like a coincidence.
No, and so this is from NewsNation. They have Avi Loeb. I don't know why he's invited to talk about it. And then there's another ufologist. Yeah, we get to hear from him. I know. He's probably going to say, "Oh, it's nothing." It's probably Mossad that did it anyway. Because if they're building a new empire, in the Middle East, they're going to need these guys.
Avi Loeb probably posits that he got picked up by 3i Atlas.
Yeah, probably. And it's important to note that Avi Loeb is a Unit 8200 agent from Israel, so he's not just a scientist,
right?
Which is basically their NSA.
Funny how that works,
right?
Does not have any special knowledge about the ET bodies and debris from the Roswell crash stored at Wright-Pat. Though at this point, with absolutely no sign of them, maybe the best hypothesis is that aliens beamed them up to the mothership. However, no sightings of a mothership hovering above the Sandia Mountains have been reported. Now, authorities say that they have received dozens of tips so far, no confirmed sightings as the search continues. So I want to tackle this in a different way. I want to bring in astrophysicist Avi Loeb. He's the Frank B. Bard Jr. Professor of Science at Harvard University, and also former FBI agent and UFO investigator Ben Hansen. He's the host of Discovery Plus's UFO Witness. Thank you both so much for taking the time. Avi, I'm going to start with you. McCasland once led this Air Force research laboratory. It handles all of this weapons technology. I talked about the UFO connection. What kind of projects would a person in that role have likely been exposed to? Are we talking UFO secrets? I guess the question I'm asking, in other words, is what information could he potentially have that would be so valuable for someone to potentially take him?
Let me guess, he's going to dismiss it, right? Just before he says it, he's just going to say, "Oh, I'm sure he doesn't have UFO."
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Let's let Avi Loeb chime in and see what he thinks. We know what he thinks.
Right. I don't think it's very likely that someone took him for that reason. In that capacity, he probably was responsible for developing the latest technological advances used for weaponry within the Air Force. However, it's hard to believe that material retrieved from many decades ago would be a reason for taking him out now that President Trump actually directed the declassification of information that is not important for national security. In the worst case scenario, I can imagine someone threatening him, but not really doing much about it. And also, any technology used for decades ago is not relevant right now. So I would actually dismiss. I completely agree with his wife. I don't think it has anything to do with UFOs. The only thing I can imagine is, that for some other reason, that may be completely mundane. Someone did something to him, which unfortunately, led to these consequences, but had nothing to do with UFOs as far as I can imagine.
Well, Ben, here's the thing. If he disappeared on his own, it would be so unusual that his body wasn't found. He wasn't found. Yes, I know he has outdoor experience, but let's say he was. I mean, what do you believe? Do you think that there's a possibility that this was an abduction, maybe not by a foreign actor, but some sort of personal issue? Or do you believe that what we're seeing right now, leaving his phone there, he goes missing right after the administration announces that they're going to release information regarding extraterrestrials and UAPs and UFOs? Do you think that there's something going on here?
Well, I think it is kind of a leap in speculation to go, down the route of it maybe being connected to UFOs, but more likely, I think we have to have an open mind that something that was related to his work. The question comes up as to why you have so many agencies that are out there looking for him. And my response to that is, when I was in the agency, we had to take a special form anytime we wanted to travel for the weekend and tell what route we're taking, where we're staying. Because when you have a top secret clearance like that actively working on things, you're playing offense and defense. Now, he's been retired for a while, but those things that he came across in the programs he was running could be valuable still, I believe, to people. Either him, heaven forbid, meeting up and sharing things he shouldn't, but then also him being a target. But I agree. I don't know that we have anything connecting it to UFOs at this moment, but it is very interesting.
Well, Avi, you seem to suggest, and correct me if I'm wrong, that whatever information you have might be outdated, similar to what his wife is saying. But I don't know. He might not know things that could still be. I had Ross Coulthard on.
I mean, just quickly, outdated. If it's something, if it really is like an alien craft that's thousands of years ahead, and we were able to do something, that's not outdated,
right? And if he's got knowledge about stuff like anti-gravity or I don't know, unlimited energy, unlimited energy, all that kind of stuff. That clearly we're not using that now, so it's not out. Well, the government probably is, but people aren't.
Right. I mean,
so it's not. You're right. It's there's no way it's outdated.
Yeah, and it's been buried so deep that our adversaries do not have access to it. This guy would be perfect to just pick up. Whoever it is. But so it's not outlandish to think so.
No,
is what we're saying, and it's definitely not outdated. Like, this is not technologies from the 40s.
That's a really weird thought in my head. Like military, like technology, even if it's not UFO related, to be considered outdated. I just don't, because military technology is what, like 50 years ahead always, minimum. And even if he doesn't have the exact blueprints or whatever in his head, it's still valuable information.
Absolutely. Yeah, you can use that information to do whatever. So, okay.
Coulthard on the other day, a grave national security risk?
National security is a different matter. Yes, I do think that there are secrets that obviously will not be released because we have technologies that other nations don't. And just see the superiority of our forces right now with Iran. I mean, there must be a lot of technological advances that most people are not aware of. But from that to the subject of UFOs, that's a stretch. And in that context, I do believe that now the political sentiment is shifting thanks to President Trump, and therefore we should focus on what will be released, how much of it, and what value it carries. But I don't think there is any conspiracy behind the scenes going against President Trump in a way that is so aggressive as to abduct a person.
It's always a good, very objective news segment when the two guests agree with each other. And
tonight we want to hear directly from Gen Z. I'm joined now by Chloe Marks, a 2-year-old. Also,
exactly. They came on and they completely agreed, and there was and the Israeli agent said there's no reason to abduct him. So we should just believe him.
Definitely, 100%.
This is also from CNN. It's pretty short, and I think it's just a summary, and then we can get into like the nitty gritty details.
Noise.
Right, the mainstream news is not covering.
This morning, the FBI has joined the search for a missing retired Air Force general who once held some of the most sensitive positions in the military. William Neal McCasland also worked with UFO researchers. Authorities say he has been missing late February. Let's get right to CNN's Veronica Miracle for the latest.
Can you pause really quick?
Yeah.
Like, okay, so this video and the last, I feel like the whole point is we're talking about disclosure and UFOs becoming mainstream and stuff like that. But I feel like all of this stuff is supposed to put, like, it's supposed to, what am I trying to say here? Like, UFO researchers, and then the last week talking about how, like, oh, there's no way UFO is involved. They're trying to cast doubt on all this stuff. So they're bringing it in the mainstream just to discredit it almost.
In a way. Absolutely. That's their job. That is definitely their job. I mean,
it's subtle. It's there because you go, oh, mainstream news, they're talking about UFOs and aliens and stuff, but it's always in like this patronizing, kind of like backhanded or underhanded way.
Right. It's very subtle, but it still nudges you nudges your mind a certain way. It's definitely manipulation.
Right. They're like, people want to know about this, but we also have to persuade them that it's not real without saying it's not real. Like that's what they're trying to do, it seems like.
Exactly. Even the two guys before, both of them said it's far-fetched.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Well, John, authorities say that retired Air Force Major General William Neal McCasland walked away from his home in Albuquerque 2 weeks ago without a cell phone. He hasn't been in touch with his wife, his family, his friends, and also to add more of a pressing issue here, he does have a medical condition listed on his silver alert. So there's a lot of issues. As you mentioned, there's also a twist. He held several high-ranking, very sensitive positions in the U.S. military before his retirement. Among some of those high-ranking positions includes the fact that he commanded the Air Force Research Laboratory at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. That's a base long rumored to house extraterrestrial debris linked to Roswell. Now, there have been massive searches for McCasland in the area of Albuquerque. In fact, investigators say they've talked to about 600 homeowners as they search for videos, for clues, anything that might lead to McCasland. Take a listen to what a search and rescue official had to say.
Please check your Ring cameras if you live in the area. If anyone has trail cameras, but we need to find out which direction this gentleman might have gone from his home. Right now, that's the big issue, is we don't know which direction he went. So we're going back to the needle in the haystack. The only problem is we don't know which haystack we're looking in.
Susan McCasland Wilkerson, this is McCasland's wife. She posted a statement on Facebook thanking people, also trying to clear up some of the misinformation that she says has been spreading. She said part of her statement says, quote, Neal does not have any special knowledge about the ET bodies and debris from the Roswell crash stored at Wright-Pat.
Thanks, Susan.
John.
Okay.
Wow, certainly ripe for conspiracy there, but let's hope that family.
Ripe for conspiracy there.
So here we go again. Here we go again, right?
Just like you said, yeah.
So exactly. The beginning of the last video opened up with that same quote from the wife. Of all the quotes they must have about this woman, the one that gets reported over and over again is that this guy has no knowledge of UFOs. Two things. One, if he did, his wife could not say that out loud. Two,
wouldn't know.
How was his wife there at the base with him? She doesn't know.
And if he had no knowledge, what the hell was he doing talking to Tom DeLonge and to the Stars Academy?
Exactly.
What was he advising him on?
And then there was even the joke last video they talked about, oh, there's no big mothership overhead of Albuquerque or whatever. New Mexico is rife with UFO sightings. Just because it's not in the style of Independence Day where they're coming out of the clouds and it's this huge ship that blows up the White House doesn't mean that UFOs are not being seen. I'm not saying he was abducted by UFOs. I'm just saying if all of those things are jammed in there. Yeah. They're jammed in there to like make fun of people who believe in UFOs and aliens and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, they decided to end the show with that quote. Right?
Yes,
I mean, this is what they're ending it with.
I mean,
here's your conclusion, everyone. We'll bring you in. We'll bring you in. It's all about UFOs. It's all about UFOs. Actually, it's not.
Right.
kind of thing. Yeah, it is weird. Very weird.
Yeah. It's frustrating as a UAP person. I think I can fairly call myself a UAP person now.
Oh,
I'm technically. I think we're both technically UAP researchers at this point.
We are. Yes, we're definitely UFO researchers. We got a lot of hours under our belt, lots of deep dives, interviews, and even updating everyone on the weekly news of what's going on in the UFO community. So now, for sure, we're definitely UFO.
And now we even have articles. Check out Topher.
That's right.
On Topher LS on Substack.
Everyone go and subscribe there, and I think you can. Do you have? There's an option to have a payment, right, to support.
I have not activated yet. I have not activated yet. They're right now. They're all 100% readable and all free.
Nice.
Some very generous donor donated $80 per year. Thanks, Mom. Anonymous.
Oh, okay, yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like it is still an option. Like it's free because there's still a lot of big Substacks out there that are free. Yes. But people are free to also give or donate or for your time researching this stuff, because it does take a lot of time to put all these things together.
It does. This last article took way too long because I had to rewrite it so many times. It was about the Falcon Lake UFO incident. If you want to go check that out, we should do that next weekend. Then that's why I wrote it, buddy.
Nice. That's a good one. I think we've done like quick updates on it or touched upon it. We've touched
upon it a few times. Yeah. But it is Canada's best documented UFO case, and that name holds up, as I've discovered.
Very cool. All right, so I guess this is the last mainstream one. It's from ABC.
The FBI is part of the search for a retired Air Force general in New Mexico. Authorities say 68-year-old William McCasland was last seen February 27th after leaving his Albuquerque home on foot and leaving his phone behind. During his career, he oversaw classified space weapons programs and was considered an expert on UFOs. The search for McCasland is spurred by concerns about unspecified medical issues. Clothing has been found near his home, but it's unclear if that's his. The FBI is part of the search.
Clothing has been found near his home. Interesting.
So didn't the last video say that he had some sort of health issue listed in his silver alert?
They did, but then I saw that they do that so they can release a silver alert, right?
Well, my question was what the health issue was. I was paying close attention to that last video, and it never said on that thing anywhere about a health issue. So I'm confused. And I wonder it must say something. I'm sure I could do some research and figure out what the health issue they're using is.
Maybe it'll come up in some next stuff.
Yeah.
So this is from California Post. Possible X account of missing General William McCasland claimed fellow general was murdered over nuclear material. This is March 14th, so it was yesterday.
Now, let me see here. Online sleuths think they have uncovered missing retired Air Force General William Neal McCasland's anonymous social media account, which claimed another general was murdered for his dealings with nuclear material. He went missing, let's see, the same day that the person behind a conspicuously credentialed X account centered on spacecraft and advanced science made their last post.
He has us all blocked, by the way, this account for I have no reason. Like, I've never even interacted with the guy. He has me blocked. He has our main UAP podcast account blocked. And he's got almost the entire community is blocked.
What's the account name?
It's not linked here. I think we have it coming up. It's like TMB Aerospace. We have it coming up.
All right, I'm gonna try and follow when we get there.
Okay.
Because I don't do anything on my X. There's no way he's got me blocked already.
But still, even if you're blocked on X, you can. Oh, here it is. It's TMB spaceships. Topher.
Oh, did you freeze up? I can still hear you.
You can still hear me.
I can still hear you, but the screen is frozen.
Okay, and I can't even pause, so it's going to.
Okay, well, listeners, just so you know, Adam has having a little bit of computer trouble, and we were worried that this might happen. So if we cut out and come back in a weird way, it just means
we'll edit it anyway. We'll edit
it.
Yeah. Damn. Okay, so let me I'm gonna have to hard do this because it's stuck.
Okay.
Damn it. All right, cuz I'll be right back.
Okay. I'm like a bird on the way. It says it's still recording. Hey, Adam, when you're editing this later, you want to hear something cool? That's my beard. I got to do my Duolingo today. Duh, bears.
Yo.
Hey.
All right. It just opened the tabs, which is awesome. So remembered.
Great. So we are at 32:30.
Okay. So basically 30:30 to 32:30.
So you were just telling me the guy's Twitter handle.
Right. Yes, that's right. So it's right here. TMB Spaceships. All right.
Ah, great. TMB Spaceships. Now, what were you saying?
Oh yeah, that people are talking. We can visit this account online as well and see what he was talking about. Like I think they say here, like plasma physics, anti-gravity stuff. So it is weird, and he did stop after McCasland.
The day he disappeared. Yeah,
the day he disappeared. So the account TMB Spaceships claims to be run by a retired 38-year active duty United States Air Force with a PhD in engineering, listing the Air Force Institute of Technology, the Air Education Training Command, and Air Force Material Command as places they've worked. Both the AFIT and AFMC are located at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, which McCasland ran from 2011 to 2013. He attended the Air War College during his 34-year career, which is a subordinate to the AETC. McCasland attained a PhD in astronautical engineering from MIT in 1988.
The account shockingly claimed just months before McCasland's disappearance that Major General John Rossi, who allegedly committed suicide in 2016, was actually murdered because of refusal to hand over nuclear material to private contractors. What? And as we know from Boeing, private contractors never get up to weird, shady stuff.
Yeah, no shit. So he was for him not giving nuclear material to a contractor. Imagine how they just get away with that. I mean, they think they just deserve it.
It's the same thing with our government that punishes whistleblowers. They just get away with it.
Yeah. There's a rumor going around that Trump might pardon both, and it's obviously complete bullshit, Snowden and Assange, and put them in charge of bringing down the deep state. I'm like, oh my god, this Q stuff just never ends.
You know, all they had to do to get a pardon if both those guys had showed up on Jan 6, they would be out in the open right now.
Very true. So Army investigators ruled his hanging death was due to a severe lack of sleep and job anxiety, according to the outlet.
That's the second. I was going to say that's the second typo I've noticed in this article. It doesn't matter. I mean, I'm just curious.
Interesting. Yeah, and the URL says NY Post. So this California Post is an affiliate. Looks like of NY Post.
It must be. I was noticing that at the very top. They have the same header as the New York
logo.
Post.
Yeah. So it's a quote. General Rossi was a good friend, and it is my opinion he did not commit suicide. The account wrote in a reply post on September 2nd, 2025.
I believe General Rossi was killed because of a sick incident. Not sick, SIC. Reported to the Pentagon IG Inspector General that he would not transfer nuclear weapons to private hands just months prior in an attempted nuclear weapons theft from Fort Sill. Post claimed.
So they just killed him. I mean, that means they tried to pay him off too. Right?
Sorry, that was really quick. The silver alert just says medical issues. It doesn't specify which. Due to medical issues, law enforcement is concerned for safety. Okay, so just a vague medical issue. Got it.
So February 27th, that's about 2 weeks ago. A little over, almost 3 weeks. General Rossi knew DOE takes all custody of nuclear weapons, not private contractors, the Post concluded. Wow,
that is big news. But man, if this is all on the level, like McCasland is behind this account, says this, and he gets got for pointing this out, it just means our government and quote unquote private contractors are just so deep in the black hat world. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's really scary. It's getting scary out there, man. I mean,
it's really scary out there.
Hopefully small podcasters like us are just left alone. It doesn't make sense. I mean, if they're going after the big guys, that makes sense. It does surprise me. I thought they would skip Tuckers and Candaces and these people and go for the medium ones. But
any young listeners out there who are thinking about joining the military and want to do that as a career, just know, I mean, that's fine. Do what you want, but just know once you sign that deal, your soul belongs to the government. If you ever decide, I don't want to keep doing bad shit for the government, you're gone. You're dead.
Right. Exactly. Once you're in, you're in. There's no getting out. All right. McCasland was informed. Yes. Okay. During his time, he was one of the key gatekeepers of the UFO topic for the Air Force. A source with knowledge told the Post he knew a lot and he participated. Oh yeah. The WikiLeaks disclosures.
WikiLeaks disclosures of the emails of John Podesta, former counselor to Obama, revealed that the Blink-182 frontman Tom DeLonge was in contact with McCasland, who briefed him on the subject of UFOs and alien life.
Yeah, he doesn't know anything about ETs and UFOs, guys.
No, of course not, because that's what his wife. That's what his wife said.
Yeah.
Thanks.
So I mean, people will say, "Well, New York Post is it's not a serious outlet," but they usually, when it comes to these subjects, these fringe subjects, there's a lot of truth. I mean, the Inquirer got it right about JFK a long time ago, right? I mean, they had the interview with Hunt in there, and so it doesn't mean just because the outlet is not a huge one like the Washington Post or the New York Times, doesn't mean it's not good information.
Also, this article is explaining who Tom DeLonge is, and front singer of Blink-182, and they use the song "I Miss You" as like an example of his music, which is fine. It's a good song. I like it. It's just kind of a bummer. Like Blink-182 has so many songs, and to choose that one is weird. In fact, one of my favorites, and it's a little on the nose, is "Aliens Exist" by Blink-182.
Yeah,
and I think we played it on the show like a year and a half ago, like in the early days when we could get away with doing that.
And they're talking about Susan's post as well. No sign of him.
Retired. Oh, this is why. Retired government physicist, a second lieutenant with the Air Force. No wonder she's saying that. I did not know that.
All right. Okay. So she's just
wait a sec. Here's a nice little hidden gem. In a Facebook post 1 week after his disappearance, Susan bizarrely suggested McCasland could have been abducted by a UFO mothership. What?
Well, that's what she's the one who made a joke, right? That I don't think they beamed him up or something like that. Yeah.
Oh, that's what they're referencing. Oh,
yeah.
I read this the other way. Is that she said, well, maybe he got picked up by a UFO, and then the government got to her and said, no, you have to say he has no knowledge of this.
Right, typical government line. Right, let's make a joke about it. Ha ha ha.
Yeah,
kind of thing. And yeah, she's retired. She was in the government and had likely had clearances as well.
Yes. Okay. This all does add up to government cover up now.
It does. And we'll get in. There was Jason Sands was on a space, I think, with Red Panda and that crew.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And Jason Sands is a whistleblower. He was allegedly was in the UFO program in Nevada. And he's the one famously has said that he saw that blue humanoid alien. That was on the side of the road. Yeah.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So, okay, let's hear what Jason Sands has to say.
Regarding McCasland, who's gone missing. What are your thoughts on that? What do you think about that?
There is a protocol within the legacy program that if you are one of the people they consider a key personnel and something is happening and they think that either you're at risk or you're a risk, they will come and take you to their facilities and hide you away. Or if they think you're a threat, they will pop you and murder you. I think he is just in hiding with some friends. He's safe. He left his cell phone and everything else behind because he didn't want to be traceable. And that's good for him. And I hope he's going to stay hidden until the time when it's safe for him to come back.
I hope he's safe as well. That was what I was thinking. But I hope he's safe.
That's my feeling about it. This was of his own accord, and he's safe with some friends.
And do you think it's because we're headed into war times, or do you think it's because we're headed for imminent meaning within a year NHI confirmation? Like why would he be a threat?
If you knew what he knows, yeah, you would think, oh crap, they're going to come get me now. And I think that's what motivated him.
Because of confirmation?
Yeah. Just what he can confirm and deny. That's the kind of person he is. And he knows that he, because of that, is a target.
Regarding
interesting. So maybe the people within the program have protocols like this where, people like him, the importance that he has, they're like, you got to come in or something. You got to go into hiding.
Yeah. And I think many high-level military or government people have a pretty good idea of how to disappear yourself.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Right. And I'm in the same boat as these people. I hope he's well. I hope he's alive. And I hope this is all of his own accord and he's doing what he believes is best for himself.
And someone as high up as him, he'd be careful, right? It's not gonna be easy to abduct someone like him. He's trained. Even in his old age, and maybe his wife knows about it. Maybe she's acting like she doesn't know about it. Maybe she's like, oh, we can't find him, kind of shit. And he had nothing to do with UFOs.
What's funny is I've been traveling a little bit around the country where I'm here now, and my brother and I have talked about this, and it would be really easy to disappear here. This isn't like some third world, country where everything is terrible. You got internet, you got everything else, but if you've got a decent amount of American cash, that goes a long way in a lot of places, and it gets you a long ways. And you just have to have a basic understanding of the language, but you could go a long way.
You don't think people can, if they know you got a lot of cash, would just try and kill you? I guess if you're armed, you'll be okay, maybe.
No, you're not carrying around a ton of cash, and you're not walking.
No, you're not carrying it, but still,
you're not walking around with a. You're not walking around with a Gucci handbag. You just, you do your best not to stick out, or if anything, you look a little bit like a tourist. But that's fine. It's really, it's such a community culture, where if you keep to yourself and you're respectful of others, no one cares what you do.
Oh, nice. Okay, good. So that's a nice plan to know then.
Yeah, it is. That's
cash out, move to South America.
That's why I'm telling you this.
All right, I'll keep that in mind. So this is Riley Coyote, and he did an open source investigation into Air Force Major General William Neil McCasland, and basically just so we can understand, what this guy did at his time in the military and in the government. So he's a retired 2-star general, vanished from his Albuquerque home on February 27th, 2026. No footage, no trail, no body. Here's what the public record actually shows about who this man was. He was executive secretary of SAPOC. Wow. McCasland had administrative oversight of every special access program across the entire Department of Defense, acquisition, intelligence, and operations. If UAP crash retrieval programs exist anywhere in the classified structure, his office was the oversight body. And the WikiLeaks email, which we did cover as well, that he was working with Elizondo. And then he was the orchestrator. Oh, really?
Yeah, interesting. He assembled the advisory team that became TTSA, Elizondo, Semivan, Putoff, and a Skunk Works vice president. He was the orchestrator. That's cool. So he was the godfather.
Right. He told him these are the people you need in TTSA to get this working.
Yes, definitely. So back to thanks, Susan.
Yeah.
She holds a PhD in astrophysics, was a NASA astronaut semifinalist in Sally Ride's class. Oh, no kidding. Handled classified satellite imagery under SCI and clearance, and was independently invited to a Podesta organized UAP disclosure meeting, her own RSVP, not as a plus one. So she was a lot bigger deal than I realized.
Maybe she did help him disappear.
Maybe she did, yeah.
This is a dual clearance household.
I mean, no, I think that's a really important thing because it does cast her in a little bit of a different light. If he is escaping and she truly knew nothing about it, that's not a good sign for her. But maybe it's one of those things where they both know the less she knows, it's better, right? What she doesn't know can't hurt her. It could be one of those things.
Yeah, I agree. And then she knows, basically, if he just disappeared and left his phone, maybe that's a signal from him. It's like, if I leave my phone and I'm gone, you know what that means.
And then it adds the whole Facebook post thing too about UFO, and then it muddies the waters.
Right.
Well, man, this is great. We were talking about private eye detective work before the show and how much
that's right.
It's always the wife.
His final military command was the Air Force Research Laboratory at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. Yeah, the base whose institutional lineage traces directly back to 1947 Wright Field, the documented destination of Roswell debris. Yeah, he was literally the head of Wright-Pat.
When the Roswell crash debris was sent to that facility.
In 1947, huh?
Crazy. He retired to Albuquerque and worked at Blue Halo on directed energy and space situational awareness, 5 miles from Kirtland Air Force Base, Sandia National Labs, and the Manzano Nuclear Weapons Storage Complex, the most UAP-dense corridor in America. As we know, UAPs, what do they love? Adam, tell the audience.
Wait, sorry?
What do UAPs love?
They love nukes, that's for sure. Just like a moth to a light.
Yep. 600 plus homes canvassed, helicopters, canines, drones, zero confirmed surveillance footage on a route he ran regularly, so he knew the route.
Yeah.
So all of this information we're seeing here really does make it seem like he disappeared himself.
Yeah, I agree.
The FBI arrived before most people knew he was gone. Very interesting.
Yeah. Here we go, silver alert.
The silver alert requires irreversible deterioration of intellectual faculties. Okay, that's where the whole dementia or Alzheimer's thing came from. But here, next sentence, his wife publicly states he had no dementia, no Alzheimer's, no confusion. So, okay, this is great. Great stuff. Why the hell was the story pushed that insinuated he was delusional when he clearly is not? Yeah, I fell for that. I fell for that 2 weeks ago when we talked about it.
Yeah, you did say that. It was the first comment. Like when I first sent it, you're like, didn't he have dementia or something?
Yes.
So yeah.
Good to know that people smarter and better researched than I are digging deeper into this.
Yeah. This man spent 34 years inside NRO satellite programs, SAP oversight, and directed energy research. He had the widest aperture into America's most classified programs than any single officer could hold. And then he disappeared without a trace.
Fantastic. Good work, Riley Coyote.
Yeah, let's give him a follow. Subscription. Oh wait, that means I already follow him.
I'll give him a follow.
But yeah, good job on that. And as well, I think this one, what we talk about next is, so this is the lawyer of Blue Elizondo. So, take it with a grain of salt here, but he's chiming in as well. This guy had a huge fight with the community. We've covered it too before. Mm-hmm. I'm just trying to remember what it was. But he was going after Tupa and Red Panda when all that stuff was going on. But anyway, he's chiming in. He has a disclaimer. I have no direct knowledge of any operation. The following is an opinion, and I hope it is wrong. All right. Let's see what
I mean, I make that disclaimer a lot, and I think it's a healthy disclaimer. Yeah. He says, I am concerned that Major General McCasland was taken and that he may well have already been killed. There are many reasons for this concern, from the obvious, leaving his prescription glasses, phone, and fitness tracker behind, to the less obvious, which I will detail briefly below. There are several potential motives and corresponding categories of suspects. 1, an assassination by operatives on behalf of one or more UFO legacy programs. 2, an abduction by operatives of an adversarial nation for the purposes
or ally.
Of extracting classified intelligence. 3, an abduction by a mentally disturbed, in quotes, UFOologist who wants, in quotes, the secrets. There are other categories, some of which intersect with the prior 3. My personal belief at this time, and I pray to God that I'm wrong, is that an order was given following POTUS's statement about releasing the UFO, in quotes, alien files, to send a clear message to all currently and formerly cleared persons with classified knowledge of UFO-related programs. And this whole last part's in quotes here. We're doing this on our terms, limited hangout terms, and if you get out of line, you'll vanish. I'm not alone in this concern. Other friends of mine from the IC have expressed the very same suspicion. Everyone I've talked to has hardened their already very hard penis, nearly foolproof personal protective measures. I will not elaborate on those measures for obvious reasons, but they are extreme and cover all conceivable scenarios. To people in/from one of these programs who are concerned for their own well-being, protect yourself. Use your tradecraft. Have dead man switches coordinated through third parties which you do not have access to and which require a 30-day deactivation period after you transmit a deactivation code. I disagree, but I'll talk about that later. Include packages with your PII/bona fides, foreign intel. What did I say? Oh, more penis jokes. We're devolving as a podcast. Foreign intel and domestic intel. Surveil your surroundings at all times using multiple sources of capture and backup over covert digital analog. Think deeply about all scenarios, plan accordingly, and do not share your plans with your loved ones. You should be self-protected at all times to the level that you are confident walking into a skiff to brief Congress with no fear of retribution. That'll never, unfortunately, I don't think that's likely. There's much more I'd like to say about this, but mostly I'm just very sad. Above all, I really hope I'm wrong about McCasland, and he's praying for him, is what he says. I don't actually know. I was thinking about this as I was finishing up this quote here. I don't know too much about third-party dead man switches, but I don't like using third parties. The more outside sources that you provide with your information, that's more points of entry for someone to take that data.
Yeah. I mean, maybe he means third parties as lawyers, but lawyers also can be manipulated.
Same kind of thing. Lawyers or friends or family or whatever, they're fallible because people are, and that's just the way it goes.
Right. And they can get scared.
Yeah.
Right. So I mean, that's another thing. He thinks that basically it was the legacy program that took him out. But he worked for the legacy program in a way. I mean, not in a private sense, but on the government side.
Sure, but I mean, as we know, like groups like Majestic 12 probably have no qualms with taking out one of their old advisors if they think they're a loose end or something.
Yeah, and Grush has brought this up as well, and many whistleblowers have said that this has happened. People have been murdered over this topic. So it's not far-fetched.
It's not.
There is another one. This is the Sentinel Network. They do a good job. They said someone else was disappeared. There's another disappearance.
We are currently investigating the disappearance of Monica Jacinto Reza as possibly related. Another missing hiker whose advanced super alloy research. Why are all these fell directly under McCasland's financial command at AFRL? Last seen hiking June 22nd, 2025. Another scientist.
Yeah.
Well, the other two were shot in the head, but still taken off the gaming board, right?
Exactly. Yes, all these important scientists. That guy out in the desert in California, right? He was really important. That's the nuclear scientist, the fusion scientist that got killed as well. And then she got missing going on a hike.
Now, I do want to be very, very clear here. There are so many hikers that go missing, and there have been a ton of studies that show how easy it is to go missing when you're hiking, when you're on a known trail. You step off 2 feet to pee or whatever, and you are lost after that.
Yeah, she was 60 years old.
It's very easy to go missing. However, with all of these other disappearances and deaths of people that have access or are developing technology that could be useful to all of mankind, it seems more likely she got rather than just going missing off the trail.
I agree, especially in LA. I'm sorry to say that, And she was tiny. She was 4'11" and 101 pounds. I mean, easy target. 60 years old as well.
Yes, yeah, it's scary stuff. So, hey, listen, for those of you who do like to go hiking, especially if you're a scientist working on some sort of project, let everyone know where you're hiking, when you're hiking, and preferably take a weapon with you if you can, and go with people. Don't just go by yourself.
Absolutely, yeah. Just like when you go diving, I mean, you always have to have a partner with you. It's the same thing. You have a buddy with you. Always have a buddy with you. I mean, doesn't it? I'm sure you would think the government would teach them this, especially if they're cleared and are part of these highly sensitive projects.
Mm-hmm.
All right, this is another one from the Sentinel. Then they talk about the DMB spaceships account. So he has 1,645 posts on plasma propulsion. Went silent on February 27, the same day Major General McCasland vanished. We pulled the archive. The account's 1998 hand-drawn schematic claims a sighting from the cockpit of a KC-135 at 150,000 feet. Weird. We just had a bunch of those that crashed in Iran.
What was it? A bunch? I thought it was just the one.
Well, there's 5 that were in Saudi Arabia in the base, and
I thought they got exploded. They didn't crash.
Right. Maybe they still got destroyed. Yeah.
Right. Destroyed. Sure.
Yeah. The author identifies ionized helium by sight and references lab experiments by name. The page underneath, we used image enhancement tools to reveal a reverse engineered component list. Marx generator, linear accelerator, magnetic compressor, helium-3 ion propellant, which is only found on the moon. Helium-3, well, found in abundance. I mean, every component maps directly to the observed phenomenon on the front page. McCasland commanded the exact laboratories that do this work.
Wow.
So on it.
More evidence that proves that McCasland was behind this account.
Yeah.
So I imagine in a couple of days, if not sooner, this account will become active again, and we'll have some snarky comment about McCasland getting abducted by a UFO, just to prove that it's not him.
100%. So fluorescent ionized gas. So this is December 1998.
Mm-hmm.
The DOT at the front was incandescent white with a halo of Crookes dark space. I initially saw it going east to west along Kansas border, approximately initial altitude. All right, so this is a sighting he had.
Interesting. So quick, when it was going, those are steps downward, essentially.
Yeah, right.
Doink, doink, doink. Wow.
And it is how they move, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So what's this? I guess. Oh, handwriting. They analyzed his handwriting.
Oh, wow, that is pretty in depth.
Yeah, this is the Sentinel, and they had a Substack on this. Definitely, should we click into it?
No, don't give them clicks. Give my Substack clicks instead. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Let's take a look. We don't have to go through the whole thing, but we will link this article in the show notes, just like we do every week. Everything we talk about on the show, and even some stuff we don't end up talking about on the show, will be in the show notes. So be sure to check those out if you're ever curious or want to dive deeper into anything we bring up on the show.
Here's the account. 3,000 followers, 543 following, and then they go through it. So anything else in here?
I wonder how many of these accounts on X, because that's not a whole lot of followers, but I wonder how many big names behind the scenes are tweeting anonymously like this, right? Just to get the knowledge out there, and so many people don't know about it.
I mean, they caught even Elizondo doing that, right? He had a what do they call it? Sock puppet account.
Yeah.
So see, he blocked us. No, wait, it's right here. It's going to come up that he blocked us. See? We've never even interacted with the guy. So this is his last one. No, December 28th. Oh, it's pinned, but it's talking about how hummingbirds create this lift.
Cool.
27th. Generates small local field, high voltage gap geometrically placed, allowing sustained dwell time in gap.
Is he responding to someone there, or just saying that out of nowhere?
I can't. I won't be able to see that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we won't be able to see that. Can I click through? Oh, never mind. So let's see who is science dog. Where are you at? Where are you, dog? Hope you're okay.
So it seems like X has decided that this is in fact McCasland.
Yeah, I think he dropped me clues. Oh, this is 2 days ago. I think he dropped me clues just a couple of weeks before Major General William McCasland disappeared. I plugged it into my current research paper in technology. So obviously this is a lot going on.
Absolutely. I don't know what this is, but I like
angels,
this.
The angels,
right.
Yeah.
Transcendental non-object. Let's move on because I'm gonna get distracted by this. I'm already getting really cool ideas for writing. But I think we can move on from McCasland now, right? We've pretty much covered it.
Yes, I think there's only Burleson that's left. What he had to say.
Okay.
But yeah, basically, and then we'll go into what else Burleson said. I mean, he just came back from a trip from one of the sites that he visited.
Okay, great.
This is on Weaponized.
Got it. Our favorite host.
Who doesn't want to understand the truth about this. Do you believe that is true? So you've been told that you can be murdered or eliminated as a sitting congressperson. I know presidents there have been attempts on them, so we know crazy people do stuff. But do you believe that just your inquiry into this subject could indeed spur a mortal threat to you? Do you believe that? You were told that, but do you believe that?
If if any of the stories are true about some of the crimes that have been taking place, if any of that's true, I do believe that. And so I know just from working with some individuals, David and Jake Barber, that I could tell that they really mean it when they have feared for their lives on this topic.
Yeah, you can see it, but also there's evidence that they should be fearing for their well-being. Really famously, my friend Duncan Trussell was on Joe Rogan's podcast, and Duncan kind of defended me, or not defended. He said something. He goes, "Jeremy and George have to be."
Okay, Jeremy. It's not all about you. I think it's here, 3407. When he asked him about McCasland. And it's cool that
the humor now too. Watch out. Yeah, man. And so it's just like you've been accused of that, man. Is that you'll talk to people and you'll go on small podcasts, big podcasts, you'll go on niche podcasts, you'll give your time so much. And I really appreciate that about you. We all only have limited time. Is there like a philosophy? Because, to be on the nose.
What is Jeremy talking about? He's just asking questions.
Yeah, that's not his style, though. He wants to be the main character, as we've discussed at length. I do like the Mad Max picture in the background, though. That's pretty cool.
Man, when it comes to visuals, he's talented. Really. right? His documentaries visually are really, really nice and crisp. And even when he does stuff for his podcast, like trailers and stuff, the music's good, it looks great. So he's got good taste.
Yeah, I mean, he became a big name. Maybe his breakout moment, you'd say, the documentary Hunt for the Skinwalker. And there's a good reason as to why that was his breakout documentary. I mean, it's a great film, great documentary. If you guys haven't seen it.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I know people talk smack about the Bob Lazar one, that nothing new was done, but he did
mostly us.
Yeah, I mean, he did bring it back to a younger audience, right?
He did.
Who haven't seen it.
And for those of you who don't know, Adam and I were at the premiere for that.
Yes, we were. That was a lot of fun.
And I've told this story 1,000 times, but maybe this is someone's first episode. We were at the premiere for that in LA, and very cool. It felt like a movie, like a real movie premiere. There was press there. There was a stage where everyone was taking pictures with his partner there on Weapon.
Knapp.
George Knapp, thank you. And then he was supposed to do a Q&A after the film, and people were tweeting the questions. That's how they decided to do the Q&A. And he might have answered 2 of them, and he kept saying how stupid the questions were. And he threatened jujitsu people in the audience if they kept making fun of him or something like that.
Yeah, and he stopped the FAQ, the questions and answer at the end. He just stopped it.
Right. So the movie was about Bob Lazar, and Bob Lazar was there too.
Yes, he was.
It was an overall cool experience. The film was disappointing, and Jeremy Corbell was very strange.
Yeah. So
if you ever hear me making jokes or Adam making jokes about jujitsuing people, that's where that comes from.
The atmosphere was great, right? It was a packed house, and
it was.
The venue they chose was really cool.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. The experience was really, really fun. The film, it's whatever.
All right, so here they ask him about, because he did visit one of the sites. He doesn't want to tell us which one it is. I think it was in the beginning here.
The location that we went to was more of, I had been told that there's nothing there that's current, and so that they're not gonna like pull a curtain and you're gonna see something at this moment. But at least you're able to see. I was able to see facilities that facilities that explain some of the stories that I've heard, right? And so able to see that, and which kind of fleshes out some of the narratives that have happened, and sat down with a particular individual that I've wanted to meet with for some time, that I could only meet at that location and in a secure setting, and so I finally was able to get that meeting put together. And I'll tell you, that meeting was remarkable. I had to really, really stretch my brain. This individual was extremely advanced in his intelligence and knowledge, and I am like a baby novice in quantum physics, and but I will say, when we walked out of that room, I'm proud to say that I'm next to the person we spoke with. I knew more than everybody else in the room. So at least I was able to keep up more than others were.
Can I ask you this? So the world has reported that you went to Pax River. You didn't say that, but the world has already reported that. That was their guess. And I know that you're trying to be protected because it sounds like you have a number of other facilities that you've been allowed access to in the near future. And I know that you will tell us what you see or don't see. But if I had to guess, people told you that there was a $10 million facility that was built to hold non-human intelligence craft or parts of those craft, that was a transfer from Lockheed Martin after it failed with OSAP, actually. Something like that. Maybe I've got it wrong. But when you say you sat with somebody, was the tone that UFOs are real and that our government has been working on them, or was the tone that UFOs are not real and we haven't been working on them?
So the tone that I got was that from the knowledge of the people that are working there today, that they had no knowledge or awareness of any UAP, non-human intelligence material or aspects, which, look, there's lots of turnover. It could be historical. We could have, which is why a lot of times what we're hearing is people that have retired from the military or retired from intelligence and coming forward. But yeah, currently active on that site, the people that I spoke with adamantly denied anything related to non-human intelligence.
It sounds like because even Rubio said that how this system works. He's like, the people with the knowledge of this retire and they don't tell anyone about it. So, good luck ever finding out about that.
Yeah.
And he understands how this works.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's almost like the system was designed that way.
Right. I mean, just get it started, and then who cares? You can rewrite history, right?
Exactly.
They do that anyway, and you come in and you just pick up where they left off, and that's what you know. And like, oh, all right, let's just keep advancing this. And they're not going to tell you like, oh, by the way, this is how we developed this. And
right.
And I think that's what Burleson is saying as well. And you can tell that Jeremy's not very happy.
No,
that was the answer. He wants to know more than all of us. I can bet. You can bet on that.
Well, he wants to know more than all of us, and he's got the means to do that.
He does. Yes. Yeah, he is using his platform for that. So
that's why that's why we're doing this. We want to make this a full-time job so we can start doing what Jeremy Corbell's doing without the threat of kicking people in the head.
Right.
And is there a chance in your mind that because you were told specifically by multiple people that you would go there to see nothing, that this facility was built to hold something and it was constructed for $10 million, but you would see nothing?
Yeah.
Is there any part of your mind?
10 million, I think the 10 million doesn't scratch the surface, Jeremy. I think it was, I don't remember the exact number, but I think the facility was a lot more than 10 million.
Yeah.
So does it cross your mind? Or is this not
I'll just
at
say
all?
this. I'll say this. I think the hangar doors probably cost 10 million.
Yeah.
Just the doors alone.
So does it? So that's amazing because I know George knows there was 10 million allocated for this separate site. We know who, designated the building of it, but there's probably dark money. But here's the question. The question is really simple, which is that, is there any part of your mind that is suspicious of why they let you come see nothing and then told you that they don't have any knowledge of NHI equipment? Is there anything in you that thinks maybe I was told to go there so I could be told that and tell the world, and that's the end of the story? Do you think that they do a dog and pony show?
No, I do not. Based on the information that I've been given from David Grush and others that had some insights there. So
you really believe that they don't know?
Yeah, I really believe.
Talked with.
I don't think that they would lie to a member of Congress, and I don't think that they gave me a dog and pony show. What I make up, Jeremy, is that, and what I was able to ascertain is that there is a facility that had a purpose. It serves a great purpose today, and it's a necessary facility. I think it had a broader purpose than the UAP topic. But it would be a perfect location if you were to do reverse engineering of a UAP. It would be the perfect location to do something like that.
President Trump gave you the green light to visit these assorted places you'd like to see that may have something to do with the UFO mystery. He also issued a directive in response to something former President Obama said. And this directive generally said, hey, if you've got UFO files, release them. I'd like to get your take on that. Do you think it needs something stronger than just a directive, such as an executive order? And how does and does it also require declassification of files that are going to be withheld?
So that's a great question. I do think it needs to have an executive order. From conversations I've had with others in his administration, it seems like that they're planning for, or that you may see an executive order come out. I think that right now they don't really know exactly what they want that to say, what he wants to have in that executive order at this time. But I will say the statement that he made has really lit a fire in whether it's Department of War or intelligence, the intelligence community. It has lit a fire. And and really given them the green light that they've been the way the way the conversation went with me is that, when they said that we have had a hard time prioritizing this because it's not been a priority. At the end of the day, we serve at the pleasure of the president. And if it's not a priority of the president, then it's hard to justify using resources on something that's a low priority. But now that the president has given us that green light and just simply, sending that social media tweet or truth, they now feel like they have a green light and they are dedicating more resources than I believe have ever been dedicated before to this topic.
Well, that's good news. Too bad we're at war and probably going into World War III, and this would just be buried all over again, as usual, when it comes to this topic.
Yeah, gotta follow the script, buddy.
Yeah. Every single time, man. Every single time that we get close with this topic, it just something happens where it just buries it all over again under national security. You know?
Yep. Yeah, I was reading a very interesting article the other day talking about how every 15 years there's a big, catastrophe, and they were chronicling. It's not exact. So it's so every generation has the trauma, and it doesn't really have to do with what we're talking about. Sorry, I just thought that was interesting.
Oh,
it just all, it all coincides to make sure the UFO stuff stays buried.
Yeah, exactly. I have any excuses. I mean, we saw in the George W. Bush era, right, with 9/11, because the Disclosure Project came out, and then the administration did have, and what's his name said that Hal Puthoff that he was part of a study from in that administration about disclosure. Then 9/11 happened, of course, and that buried everything.
Yep.
So so David Grush works for Burleson, and apparently he filed a formal complaint against the DOD for failing to comply with FOIA. Grush requested records concerning unauthorized disclosure complaints against whistleblowers. Grush is seeking a judge's order to compel agencies to release relevant files as soon as possible.
Grush.
Good
job, buddy. Keep it up.
Yeah, he's still fighting. That's good to see. We need people like him.
Yeah, it's just I love how they provide all these systems, like they call it checks and balances, to make sure the government stays in its lane. And then once you realize the government doesn't have to follow the rules that is set for them, you just realize the whole thing's a scam, a sham, however you want to put it.
Right. Yeah, exactly. It's window dressing.
Yeah.
Right. Because
it's to make the people feel good. It's bread and circuses, right?
Yep, totally. And you can see the system work when it's going against people like Tucker. That is the real system right there.
Yes, it is.
And maybe McCasland knew that, and that's why he's like, I'm out. I hope it's that. That he's like,
Yep, me too.
All right, Tim Burchett is a very short one. He was asked about the rumors about the huge UFO in South Korea.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. And apparently Burleson got permission to go visit it. So that's one of the sites. So he gets asked about this.
Oh, cool. Okay.
This is a cool podcast. He doesn't have the name on here. I forget what it is, but he is also Navy SEAL or something, if I'm getting it right. Or he was in the Navy. But now he has a podcast. And he does a lot on UAPs.
Cool.
The podcast do that.
The podcast can't be called Smith and Wesson, right?
No. Obviously, it's
that would be a really good place to put the name of your podcast, buddy.
It would, yes, it definitely would. Just so you can get some more traffic. But maybe he's not suffering from traffic. Who knows? He's got Tim on. He's got. We've played his show. Remember the extraction of the aliens or whatever from Mexico? That guy, contractor, that was on his show.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah.
You mentioned like craft. Like I've heard this from pretty reliable sources that there's a craft in South Korea that's so big that we
built a mountain around it.
Built it. You know anything about that being true, or can you even talk about it?
I know a little bit about it. I would just be cautious on stuff like that. To have a secret, you got to have two people, and one of them has to die.
Yeah,
and it's things get. I mean, let's just stick with what we do know. I mean, Roswell. There's just so many other incidents that have happened in this country.
We know it's real.
That I think are real. I 100% think they're real, and something happened, and I don't know what it is. And I'm not afraid of them.
Mhm.
With that kind of technology, if they want to end us, they've already done it. I just don't. And and Luna and some of those other guys, and maybe the doctor you're talking about there, they talk about interdimensional craft. I'm not there yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, you will be, buddy.
I mean, yes, I think it's important to focus on Roswell, Kingman, and Aztec. Those are very strong cases. It was before they really understood how to cover this up, and there's a lot of evidence for them. And the Kingman craft, even people within the government were just as I think a couple of years ago we covered it too, where there was text messages between someone in the government and one of the TTSA guys saying that they were looking into Kingman and that it actually happened.
Yeah, that's always a good sign.
Yeah. And Kingman was another one where we tested nukes and it crashed. Either we knew or not. I don't know.
I'm still on the fence about stuff like that. I don't know. I don't.
What, that the psychopaths won't use nukes?
No. Well, yes, but I just mean I don't know if the government knows that they crashed because of nukes or something, and that's why they're doing stuff like that.
I mean, the Kingman one happened right after, right? It was testing. It was definitely testing. They're in Nevada. They were testing, and literally that moment, a craft crashed in Kingman, Arizona. Right. Yeah.
No. My point is, does the government, they're doing those quote unquote tests because they know it'll take down a UFO, or is it just a test and it coincides that knock down a UFO kind of deal? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's probably just one. I think that's the one that we Bluegill Triple Prime, where we did it in space.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of evidence that one was done on purpose, with interviews with Jesse and government documents coming out. Cruikshank, the Australian investigator, he does great work on this, and he's done really deep dives on that incident.
I think it's Cruikshank. I can't remember.
Cruikshank, yeah. So these are not that great, but it was New York Post news, and it was shared everywhere. It was over Queens.
So this is a tweet from Red Panda Koala. It's 3 UFOs seen above New York City. Whoever submitted this said this: I came out of my house in Corona, Queens, and looked up to what I thought was a shooting star, but then 2 more joined it. They looked to be chasing each other around before I recorded this.
Yeah.
I have a drone, and it either emits a green or red blinking light or no lights when recording. Government drones, UFOs. This was March 8th at 8:30 p.m. Again, that's Corona, Queens, and New York City. Oh, I meant to mute myself. Sorry.
Oh, good. Oh, yeah. Wait, that is some crazy movements.
Oh, yeah. Look at that.
Yeah.
They always come in 3s, huh?
Yes, they do. Yeah, and they always make a triangle. Well, I guess in 3 would make a triangle any way you do it.
Right. That's true. But I get what you mean. And they're in their formation.
And this is with a phone, and we know these phones really suck at trying to take videos.
I know this from experience now. When I first got here, I was sending you UFO videos like every night, and this is it's so hard to get accurate representation. It's much
even the moon.
Yeah,
you can see with your eyes so clearly, and then with the phone, you have to really zoom in to get almost the same image.
And you just get like a white blob too.
Right, right. Because it's too bright.
Anyway, that's cool footage. I like it.
Yeah,
definitely stuff we've seen before, but I mean, all information and evidence is good.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, keep them coming. And of course, we got Steven Spielberg's movie coming out in.
Oh, I can't wait!
I think June, right?
Yeah, a new trailer came out yesterday, the day before, I think, and yeah, it's looking good.
And there's that other one that Apple bought. Apple's going to do one that's similar.
Oh, really? I hadn't seen that.
Yeah, I think it's Bruckheimer as well. Who's
cool. Yeah,
and it is about these people within the government find out about the program, and then that's what it's about.
Yeah, good.
And it's a thriller kind of thing.
Got to get everybody prepped.
Agreed. That's what's happening. That is what's happening, or at least I hope that they finally come out with something.
Me too. But it does seem like Spielberg has had insider knowledge for quite some time. I mean, he of course did Close Encounters,
yeah,
and also that great show that I've been meaning to rewatch,
Taken. Yeah,
I believe it's free on YouTube also, so you guys can go ahead and check that out.
Yeah, and it started out as a book, Taken, and they made it into a mini series. I think, what is it, 6 episodes, 8 episodes, or something?
I think I thought it was 8 or 10, but it's been a couple years since. No,
it's amazing because when it came out, I was like, yes, it's exactly what's going on, because they basically track it from Roswell and it then going into technology like biotech, and then these people who are working on the program have these companies, right, in biotech, and it tracks also like the Bay of Pigs and wars, and this stuff is happening in the background.
Yeah, see, this is why I need to go back and rewatch it, is because I'm pretty sure I was like heavily drinking when I watched it, so I don't really remember a whole lot of it. But now that I've got a clear mind and my memory is doing a lot better, I think I might enjoy it a little bit more this time.
Yes, definitely, and the whole abduction thing that goes genetics, right? It's with the family and lineage and stuff like that. Very cool.
On that note, sorry, I was going to go off topic, but
no, go ahead.
I've been rewatching Fringe, binging
Nice.
Fringe.
Nice.
One of my favorite shows of all time. And I just realized how UAP parallel that show is.
Yeah.
It's like the X-Files, but for science instead of aliens. But the whole overarching theme of the story, well, I don't want to spoil it for everybody, but there's a lot of stuff you'll recognize and go like, oh, this is UAP stuff. It's just they're putting it in another way, so it's not appear to be UAP stuff.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah. Agreed.
Very cool show.
All right. So Steven Spielberg asked about his new movie coming out.
What reinvigorated me in wanting to make the first UFO movie I've made in 50 years, because it'll be almost 50 years since Close Encounters was released in 1977, was when the New York Times came out in 2017. And it was an article written by Helene Cooper and Rosenthal, and I believe Leslie Keane. And it was an article about the Navy pilot who was flying a Navy FA-18F fighter jet off the Nimitz, the aircraft carrier Nimitz, and had seen something on his FLIR and had essentially recorded it and basically reported it. And the New York Times, and I believe it might have been, I forgot who leaked it to the Times, but it was leaked to the New York Times. And they wrote this very serious article about is there a cover-up? Has the government or the military, Air Force, the Navy been covering this up? And it was just a fascinating story, and it completely rekindled my interest in this subject matter. And then, of course, there was a subcommittee hearing in 2023, which some of you might have seen, with 3 former, one person worked in intelligence, one was a Navy pilot, and 2 were in the military. And it was a fascinating Q&A under oath, by the way. And so my feeling right now is this: I don't have any information exclusive to me that all of you here, if you read about this and have seen the plethora of documentaries about this dating back to 2018, where these documentaries really started to roll out, I don't know any more than any of you do. But I have a very strong, sneaking suspicion that we are not alone here on Earth right now.
Yeah, I'm sure he does know, though.
We should get him as a guest on the podcast.
Yeah, that should be easy. Should be really?
Yeah, no problem. I'm sure he's got the time too.
Yeah, we'll just reach out to his PR person,
his people. Yeah, you want to be on a podcast? Apparently, his next movie that he's already working on is a Western.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I'm excited because Westerns were extremely popular. Now, not so much, and so I want to see more.
Who did Cowboys and Aliens or something? Was that him too? No, right?
I think he was a producer for that. Cowboys vs. Aliens. That's a fun movie. That's
fun movie. It is. Yeah,
it's not great, but it's not bad. It's like a solid 7 out of 10.
It's fun. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's fun.
It's entertaining.
You've got James Bond. You've got Indiana Jones in that movie. A couple other faces you'll recognize. Jon Favreau's in there.
I would play. Yeah, if I was in there, I would play this, but the audio is not good. So maybe it's better if we just read. It's in the video. This is about Jack Sarfati from Skywatch Signal.
Jack Sarfati just laid out one of the wildest versions of the UFO technology argument you'll ever hear anywhere. He starts out by saying, forget rockets, forget Mars missions built on chemical propulsion. We don't need them. According to Sarfati, the real breakthrough isn't better engines, it's control of gravity itself. He says he was pulled out of academia decades ago by intelligence and defense-connected people to work on two problems: how consciousness works and how flying saucers fly, and he states that these two questions are connected.
Yep.
Sarfati reveals that UFO propulsion is based on quantum corrections to Einstein's gravity equations, specifically involving spin, and that once you understand that, warp drive style flight isn't the stuff of science fiction. He says consciousness is built into the physics, that advanced craft are effectively living conscious machines, and that a lot of science fiction has been part of a long-running cultural preparation process for disclosure. That includes Star Trek style futures, Galactic Federation themes, and the idea that rockets are already obsolete. We just haven't been told.
So Musk is basically a scam artist.
Yeah, or he's the diversion. Everyone look over here.
Yeah, I mean, SpaceX basically just launches satellites now. I mean, it hasn't really gone anywhere yet. You're right. Its job is to launch all these mini satellites for communications into space.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I mean, Musk for years talking about, oh, we're going to the moon, we're going to Mars, and and then it keeps getting pushed back, and it's not going anywhere.
As usual. NASA does it to us all the time. I'm old enough to remember every single president going to NASA saying, we're going back to the moon and then we're going to Mars, and nothing happens.
Nothing. It's a shame. It really is.
Yeah. And he's Ross Coulthard. There was a guy, I think he works at Space Force. He's somewhere in the military. And he says that he's never, all his time in the military, he's never seen any UFOs on our space platforms. So this is him reacting to that.
Yeah, I noticed that the head of the US Space Command was interviewed today, and he said in response to Mr. Trump's announcement that he would look forward to hearing what is going to be released, but he said that he'd never seen any evidence himself of any type of extraterrestrial evidence in any of the imagery that he has on his space platforms. And I can tell you that sits completely opposite to what I'm being told by people who've given evidence to congressional committees. My understanding is that congressional committees have been told about sightings of apparent craft that are not human by orbital platforms used by the United States. So somebody's not telling the truth. And I think so long as we have this situation where the heads of government agencies are clearly operating under some kind of caveat, some kind of constraint, I don't think, unless we see a meaningful statement from President Trump where he says categorically all of this information will be released, I truly do not see any real effort to declassify or release any kind of information. And certainly, I don't believe that this is the beginning of a rollout of the fact of the existence of a legacy retrieval and reverse engineering program.
Yeah, it's crazy that guy would say that, especially that it has been proven with evidence from contractors that worked in the Star Wars program in the in the 70s and 80s, late 70s and 80s during
Cold War.
During the Cold War, during Reagan, that when Iran back then, who was an ally, the Shah was there. They had we did a deep dive on this too. And it's in the show, that when that UFO was in Iran and did whatever it did, that these guys, their space systems saw something coming from deep space. It came in from deep space, and they saw it go all the way over to Iran. So
cool.
That was just from a long time ago.
Yeah.
So him saying that he's just one of those that likes to, I guess, muddy the waters. Yeah.
I don't know. Or it's just someone who's so ignorant. They see all the evidence, go, oh, no, it's fake.
Right. Exactly. So they think that what they saw is what counts only.
Yeah. There, and there's people like that. We see it every day. You can show them evidence of anything, and if their mind is set, it never changes.
Right. Ross also did a very long episode on the Peruvian mummies, so he went and checked them out as well.
Yeah, what's going on? We haven't heard anything about those in a while, or at least I haven't.
Yeah, I mean, basically, Ross concludes that it should be done by professionals, by real scientists and researchers, and not ufologists. Basically, is what I mean. He's one. He's a UFO researcher, but he wanted to see it, with his own eyes.
Yeah, and I kind of get it. If you've got UFO researchers looking at this, they're going to be looking for UFOs or aliens or whatever it is.
Right.
So you try and get an impartial scientist or impartial researcher in there to get to the bottom of it, so they're not throwing their bias in there and looking for every bit of evidence that may or may not point to aliens, right? But at the same time, in the scientific field, as we've seen, and all science fields, even like stuff like history, the hardliners are very anti-UFO, alien, anti-status quo stuff. And so it's hard to not get biased the other direction when you're looking at just regular investigators, regular scientists.
Exactly. It is important for scientists to look into this. And just because a few of these are hoax doesn't mean all of them are hoaxes.
Right.
I mean, that's what they do. They just throw in a few hoaxes and it just ruins the entire.
You really do need like a Scully and Mulder type team, right? You got to have part of the team that is looking for UFOs and aliens, and you got to have part of the team that wants to figure out what the hard truth is.
Yeah, and isn't there now some office in the FBI that's investigating UFOs?
I sure hope that's the case. Why aren't we on there? We should be the main people in charge of the investigation.
Yeah, joining the FBI, I think you need a bachelor's in criminal investigation, criminal science, I forget what it's called now. But
straight up though, if I ever see an opportunity to get on one of those research teams as like a full-time job and I have to join the FBI, I totally would, man. I totally would.
Why not?
Well, because I don't like the government, and the government probably knows that about me. So
there's a lot of great people in the FBI, right? It's just too bad that our leadership is always so corrupt.
I don't have a problem with the FBI as much as I have a problem with like the CIA, for instance. But
going after Tucker, those pieces of shit.
Yeah, but it'd be hard for me to work for the FBI unless it was for a UFO research gig. Then I would do it in a heartbeat.
All right, Topher, put it out there.
I did. It's out there.
All right, let's see. This is one of the creatures, one of the mummies.
Seeing here. Primero, quisiera que nos enfoquemos en los ojos.
First, let's focus our attention on the eyes.
Si miras,
my Spanish is paying off.
Por favor, mira este ojo.
Yeah.
Ojo.
Look at the eye.
Tiene una inclinación de 45 grados.
It has a 45-degree slant.
Quiere decir, el tendón cantal interno está.
Okay, this tendon, the external one is too high up.
Wow. And so,
and the internal one is too low.
And the nose is almost flat.
Can you explain to us the auditory organs or functions of this being? Does it have any?
Because it has no ears. No tiene orejas.
Yes, it doesn't have ears.
No tiene orejas acá, visibles, y tampoco tiene indicios de oreja en la tomografía.
And also, in the CT scan, it doesn't have signs that it had an ear.
No ear canal.
Does it have the same organs as humans? Los residuos de órganos que hemos encontrado son similares a los humanos.
Yes, the remnants of the organs are similar to those of humans.
Right, and obviously the most obvious difference is the 3 digits on the feet and the hands.
The 3 fingers and feet and hands, the form of the head, the skull, and the eyes.
How much larger than a conventional human infant's head is that head? No.
When we do the tomographic study, we cannot easily compare it with that of humans because it doesn't fit with the human conventional measurement.
Is the brain the normal shape of a human brain?
No, what can be seen are residues of the desiccated brain inside.
Now, I'm really struck by the similarity between this head and the eyes and what is often described about non-human beings by people who've had alleged experiences with non-human intelligences. You know, don't you think, JP, it looks a bit like the grey head, doesn't it?
It certainly does.
What is the name of this next being?
Sebastian.
Oh yeah, look at that. Wow.
Beautiful aesthetically too, you know. I appreciate it.
Yeah. That's amazing.
Is there any medical evidence or suggestion that there were covers that would have covered those eye slits that are at a very sort of sharp 45-degree angle?
No. Si ves las órbitas.
The human eye sockets are not as wide as.
These are very large.
So whatever this is, it had wider eye sockets and apparently larger eyes than a normal human.
Because the reason I asked about the covers is because what a lot of experiencers talk about is the fact that they have very large black.
That's exactly where I was going.
Black eyes, and I'm wondering whether these were there were pupils inside of these slits, but there was some form of protection.
Pero no hay forma.
Right now, there's no way to make that analogy because that kind of tissue would become almost like a.
Pero me gustaría que veas la imagen de allí.
But it really does.
I expected that answer, but I have to ask the question.
You know, it does. It does beg the question, though. I mean, what I find uncanny about this is if you look at the description of the conventional grey alien being, they have these gigantic eyes, the enlarged, elongated head. It's quite chilling to see something like this here. What implants are there inside this being that you can tell us about?
Implantes.
El de acá, si lo ves.
The one on the back of the head.
Es este.
The back of the neck.
El que te conté que estaba en la nuca.
Which, in my supposition, it is holding the cervical region because it has a severe trauma. You can see it also has symbols.
Really?
Yeah.
They're so bizarre, these things. You think they'd ever have them like in museums or something?
I don't know, but two things in my mind kept popping up as I was watching this video. The first one, you might remember the name. God, there's so many UFO people nowadays. I'm so bad with names just in general. Anyway, who was the guy? He was out in the woods, I think, with his dogs. And he came across that UFO and he found the bodies and took them back. And there was video footage of him examining the bodies. Like one of them was still alive, right?
Yes, very similar too with the eyes.
That's what it was getting to me, was the eyes were the exact same. Instead of the big eyes like Coldheart was talking about, it had those little slanty eyes. The ones in the video are red. No one's debunked that, by the way. Of course I cannot find the video or the name of the guy. I was Googling it and
it starts with a B, right?
It's just it's completely worthless to Google. I was even on YouTube and type in alien found in woods on YouTube and just scroll until you find a real thing. You're not going to. I was scrolling anyway. There's that, and then it kind of reminds me of the Varginha or Varginha, however it's pronounced. Alien, a little bit short stature, big head. That one had a little bit bigger eyes, and I think the Varginha, I'm not even sure how to pronounce it anymore.
Varginha.
They talked about having bumps on its head.
Yeah, yes, it did. Here it is, same thing. It goes slits.
Yeah, but man, if I could find that video and we could put it side by side, the ones in the video I'm thinking of, the head is a little bit smaller. It's just the eyes that are very similar.
I'm sure we've had it on the show.
I'm sure we have too.
In the one of the older ones.
Yeah, you would be able to find it better than I would. You're much better internet savvy than I am.
I can I'll remember his name, just not on the spot like this.
Oh yeah, no, of course.
Yeah, he was a molecular biologist too, as well, right?
And he died. He was killed, I believe.
Yeah. So the story is he went out in the forest with his dog, and the story is that this being, he thought he was going to kill his dog or something.
Didn't he come across a ship that was just floating?
The ship was there. Yep.
Yeah.
The ship was there, and the being was right there. I guess hurt, or he ended up hurting the being, something like that.
Something, yeah.
And then brought it back. Yeah, he was he was all wrapped up, right?
Yeah, for some reason I thought he had more than one, but I could be just misremembering. But yeah, he brought the bean back and it's really cool footage of it. But the thing is clearly almost dead, but it does blink a little bit. It's really creepy. It's very, this was done at a time before CGI was available for anyone to just do, right? And there was no AI or anything like that.
No, we just got DVDs basically.
Yeah.
And it was mostly it was on the internet, right? Wasn't it? But
It
definitely
was.
on DVD.
It's not anymore, or if it is, it's really hard to find.
It's probably on BitChute or one of those.
Something, yeah.
So,
Anyway,
yeah, cool.
Very, very cool. See, this is the kind of stuff. I mean, this is the kind of stuff I want us to be able to do, like Cold Heart's doing.
Yeah, I mean Jesse Michaels as well. I mean, these guys have a budget, right? I mean, we need someone like Peter Thiel to fund us.
I'm sorry. He could offer us $1 billion, and I don't think I'd want to take his money.
Agreed, Mr. Antichrist. What is this tiny one? I mean, these things are tiny.
Yeah, they're not big. But I mean again, all
they do
stories
say
about-
children, right? They call them children in the Area 51.
Yeah. I mean, most stories about seeing the Greys, they're not described as tall beans.
No, they're not. I mean, there are some in abduction cases, but not the ones in the craft that come down and take people. Those are not.
Even
usually
in
tall
Mars
ones.
attacks. Even in Mars attacks, those guys weren't very big.
Oh, speaking of Jesse Michaels, so here's this. Yeah, they are tiny ones with huge heads, man. I keep forgetting to watch that movie. It's so funny.
Mars Attacks is great.
Oh my god! And
I first
everyone's
saw it
in
when I
there.
was a little kid, and it scared me so. I had nightmares
It is-
after watching that movie. But
is
watching it as
scary.
an adult it is sublime. That movie is perfect from front to back.
It is. Isn't Jack Nicholson in there too?
Jack Nicholson plays two characters in that. Jack Black, when he was really young and skinny, is in that
Yeah.
movie. Everyone is in that movie.
Everyone makes a cameo.
Yeah.
It's one of those. So yeah, this is from Falcon Space. They do great research. They're scientists, they're physicists or theoretical physicists, and they have their own lab and they test anti-gravity. So this is a pretty telling post here, and it is about Jesse Michaels.
Yes, this is true. We built a replication of the T.T. Brown experiment, and it was featured on Joe Rogan when Jesse was on, and he admitted this was a working test setup showing this effect. We asked him to come down and film, and he was in contact with us the entire build until it came time to book a flight, at which he bailed out. We ended up having a meetup anyways and got several test rigs to work in a vacuum. They turned one way in low vacuum and the opposite way in high vacuum, proving that it was not ion wind when running in high vacuum, as it went opposite the ion wind.
So this is the post that he's responding to from Area 503. He gets tagged. He goes, "Is it true that Jesse Michaels offered a $50,000 reward for evidence of this experiment, and you did it, but he has not paid you?"
Oh boy.
Yeah.
I guess
Timmy Lord.
He says, "It is with a heavy heart that I must step away from my role as moderator in American Alchemy. It is well known by now, Jesse Michaels offered $50,000 to anyone who could reproduce the Byfield Brown effect in vacuum. He was approached by two different labs, Exodus and Falcon Space, both of which reportedly reproduced the effect at -6 torr. Jesse has since used footage and interviews with these labs in his recent productions, presenting them as evidence that the Brown effect is real, while simultaneously ghosting the teams responsible and failing to pay the promised $50,000 bounty. Because of this display of ethics, I can no longer support American Alchemy until this situation is resolved. I wish you the best, Time Lord."
Yeah, and Jesse's always looking for always new editors and new whatever. So I think there's a lot of turnover there. He does great documentaries. It is, I mean, superb quality, right? You can tell the guy is financed. He is individually wealthy, I think, because he did work at Peter Thiel's office. But it's not far-fetched to think, because there's that rumor that's been going around for a while that Peter Thiel does fund these UFO podcasters. He's never said it. Jesse's never said it, but it's not crazy to think that there's something going on there.
Wouldn't surprise me. You got to control all aspects of an argument.
Right, exactly. Especially if it goes to places that we say it goes to. And Jesse is part of the tribe, I gotta say. All right, you sent me this. Oh,
Mark Christopher Lee update on his insider source. So I gotta remember what this was. Oh, okay. So this was one of the guys that leaked the story that Trump was going to make an announcement, right, and make a speech about disclosure,
right?
And so he's backpedaled a little bit on that. He made this post on March 10th, 2026. I have been completely misled by disinformation in the UFO disclosure saga. Real quick, this is the problem, and this is it's been how it's been designed so well. The UFO, it's not even the disclosure, just the UFO field in general, UAP field in general, has been just stuffed full of disinformation, bad actors, lies, half truth that just ruin anything we're talking about. Even the last post we talked about, Jesse Michaels offering $50,000 and not paying. The UFO field is chock full of this.
It's abused for sure.
Yeah. So let me start this over. I've been completely misled by disinformation in the UFO disclosure saga. My, in quotes, Washington insider source, who fed me details about Trump's July 8th speech and the May 1st press conference, was likely a plant designed to hype and manipulate the community. I've been pushing for further details on the May 1st conference, but they're not returning calls or emails. Nothing has materialized. No speech, no reveal. And now I see I was used to spread false hope.
Oh.
I suspect it's all been orchestrated. Lara Trump hinting at a prepared speech, Obama's casually saying aliens are real, then Trump's directive to release the UFO files. It feels like a coordinated tease to string us along without delivering the full truth. Ding, ding, ding. Hey, he's owning it here. He's owning it. I deserve the hate and the I told you so's. I took a chance going public with the right motives, transparency for all, but live and learn. It's taken a real toll on my health.
Oh, that sucks, man.
Lara Trump's comments and Trump's file release directive had me convinced there was truth here, but it's all smoke. The UFO world is full of psyops and lies to keep us chasing shadows. Sorry to everyone I misled. Maybe I was used to put out the demon aspect of UFOs, which makes me sad. Promoting that narrative feels manipulative now. Thanks for the ride. Love you all. Peace out from the UFO grind.
Oh, man, that sucks. So there was a demon aspect as well. Yeah, that's definitely disinformation for sure. I mean, okay, maybe
here's what,
not
here's,
as demons, just aliens. Yeah, I mean, they're aliens. They're aliens to us. Yeah,
that's the thing, though, right? We've talked about it on the show. Demons and angels, are they UAPs, UFOs? We don't know. Maybe there's something there. You know, demons, especially in the ancient past, they were used to describe anything that we couldn't understand, right? I mean, it's the same with the witch hunts. You had all these probably like real hippie women who were into some weird shit and people couldn't understand, so it turns into she's a witch, burn her.
Right. It's something they don't understand. They get scared of it. I mean, you're right. And fear does that to us. It just does, right? It puts you in that state. And you know, we've talked about this on other shows, especially the deep dive we did on Gifts from the Sky, right? On that episode, is that, you know, if they are these beings, they are pushing our civilization towards a technocracy, right? So they can just come in and take it over. They don't need to be violent or kill us, or, you know, they can just enslave us in an electronic prison planet, you know. Yep. And that could be still seen as demonic.
Yeah,
right? Because it will just destroy humanity.
Yeah, totally.
And just to follow up on that, so this is
Pavel.
Pavel. Yes, this is Pavel, and he has a source that's related to what you just read as an update.
Fantastic.
So,
let's hear it.
That's what he says.
Talk about this, but I didn't know that it was real. And of course, I'm talking about Mark Christopher Lee and the whole story about the Trump speech and all that. But I started asking around amongst people who know Robert Bigelow and who talk to Robert Bigelow. One of them is his friend, and this person responded back this morning. And they told me that Robert Bigelow was pissed off that the information got out and that he wasn't going to do the May 1st alleged speech anymore because Mark was way too fast and he didn't like that his text was shared. So he's not happy about it. But apparently, and I'm going to try to get a different confirmation, but this source that I'm talking to is a good friend of Bigelow's. So apparently Bigelow is trying to get Trump to do something, to disclose. Now, in terms of the speech, I didn't get confirmation about the speech, but I did get a hint that he was pissed off at Mark for saying what he said. So presumably they did speak, they did communicate.
And Bigelow was supposed to have his own press conference May 1st.
That's what Mark said on May 1st, that there was going to be a press conference, but now none of that is going to happen because of how public and sloppy.
What is Bigelow doing? What is he doing now? Is he still involved somehow?
I didn't ask that. I will.
Yeah, he is. He's doing consciousness though. He moved on from nuts and bolts UFOs and probably figured out it has to do with consciousness. So that's what he's doing, consciousness and afterlife basically. And he says those are connected. So UFOs and the afterlife are connected as well. It's
it's fascinating stuff. I feel like everyone who goes further enough down the UAP path always ends up leading to consciousness and more about spirituality.
Yeah.
And I do think that's why, oddly enough, religion is so closely tied to the UAP field. A lot of amateur UFOologists and researchers and investigators are all highly religious people.
Yep. At least, and at least they'll be spiritual, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, and it's because consciousness is what's missing from our science, right? That's part of the equation they keep out, because, and like you said, people that research this and go down the rabbit hole figure out that consciousness is base reality. That's what this entire reality is. It's all conscious. It's all consciousness. So if you understand this, then you could probably travel. And what's his name from Skunkworks also said that to the people that were asking him. Not Seth Rich. Seth Rich. Was it Seth Rich? And they had a Skunkworks when he came out and said that we can take ET to the stars now. And the people there asked him, and they said, that you just think to go somewhere and you're there, kind of thing. So it's like these crafts amplify that in a way.
So cool, dude. Could you imagine, like, I would just pop on my little helmet, get in a pod, and I go, want to go see Adam now, and then boom, I'm in your living room.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, that could be a possible future. Unfortunately, it's denied to us.
Clear the runway. You like move your couch out of the way.
Yeah, man. You know how free it would be?
Oh, right? God, so nice, dude.
You can't be enslaved when you have that type of
which is
technology.
Why we'll never get the technology.
Right. I mean, they need us to be enslaved. That's why.
Yeah,
because they live off us. Like
exactly.
Parasites.
Yeah, I mean, I know the Matrix is it's overused and all this stuff, but it really is, man. Like, think about human batteries. That's exactly how our society functions. They use the 100%. Working class as human batteries so they can live outside of rules and regulations. I mean, that's why the whole child rape thing and this widespread elite pedophilic system is in place. It's because we pay taxes so they can go to war in the Middle East. I mean, it's absurd.
And isn't that crazy how the system is going after Tucker, and if they do end up putting him in jail, can you imagine, like, he goes to jail, but none of those people who are responsible for this sex trafficking ring,
it's unbelievable. We have all the government. I mean, has all these names that took part in these things, and they haven't done anything about it. They've done very little about it. Let me put it that way.
Oh wow, we're coming up to 2 hours. That's crazy. So we're not going to be able to do any of the other stuff, but that's fine. It's probably better for the show anyway.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. We're called the UAP politics, and the P stands for podcast, not politics.
Right. Oh, I love that. That you made that joke song so funny. UAP.
Oh, we didn't play the music at the beginning.
The P stands for podcast. No, we didn't. Yeah, we dove right in.
Yeah, no, that's good. Actually, it took us 10 minutes. I was